Hello, welcome back to my American Horror Story family. So now we're back with a new episode. This will be a double upload. This is episode 3. It is called As We Break. So this episode opens up back with like the image that we saw before where Anna's holding the baby. She's literally, carrying the baby around and like swinging the baby back and forth, right? And as she start like, having fun and like I guess hallucinating that the baby is there and out of nowhere the baby disappeared from thin air from her hands, like rapturing out of her hand. And then for the split second her body, everything that was on her clothes started really turning like pitch black, the same type of ooze that she had from her mouth from the award show started basically engulfing her body from head to toe, and you could hear all these buzzing sound like the like bees, right? And then it flashed forward back into the current where we are now. This episode, a lot has happened, like a lot has happened. um we started seeing at the end of the episode, she's talking to her husband. She's saying that a lot of things has been happening in this freaking house, that the same people that has been torturing her now infiltrated the hospital that she goes to the clinic for, and the person calls her to have a miscarriage. At the same time, she's trying to figure out who is after her so bad that wants her to not have a baby. And at the same time, we saw the driver and her, I guess her protector, her security protector, bodyguard, is looking at her in the window as she explaining all these scenarios to her. While she stepped out the house and in the back of the backyard, she walked right into like the backyard and she started having another sequence, but this time she found the same lady that was sitting in the award show with the whole red, like this dark burgundy color, that it almost like she was hissing at her from the previous award, the award show in episode 2. It was pretty scary to see her sitting there in a tree, and those trees kind of look like seacrum trees, or like those witch trees, and she's sitting on it, and Anna's looking at her above the tree. And I guess it's like a warning, like those type of warning angels or warning omens, something's bad's going to happen. Well, as she gets back, the husband's like huffing and puffing, saying like, I guess she lost track of time. He was like, I've been looking for her. Like, we all been looking. We had a search party look for you. Like, where have you been? And she was like, she was gone for like a couple of minutes. What happened? He was like, maybe it's the sedative that they gave you in the hospital. She was like, you did what? Like, you let them give me extra sedative to like dealt with the whole situation? He was like, yeah, but we were thinking that you would have been fine after that. And then they went back in the woods, and she's saying that she saw like fire and stuff like that was happening in the backyard, like somebody were doing like some weird ceremony. And the driver and her husband as well as herself, they went in the back. They started looking around to see what has been going on. But at the same time, she's figuring out like, I swore I saw people in the back like doing some weird like witchcraft stuff, and that was happening. So automatically you could see the husband was like kind of like, oh, you sure that like really happened? Like, I'm not dismissing your belief, but I'm just saying, like, do you sure like this is true? Because anything, you could have seen anything. And I'm like, yo, at this point you're still not believing that something is attacking your wife and it's making her see certain things, and it's affecting her at a point where she lost her child. Well, she thought she lost her child, and we still don't know if she lost the child or not, because a lot has happened in this episode that solidified that, yeah, there's some witchy shit involved in this episode, and that everybody's an accomplice, and Anna has to be careful herself now to definitely figure out what exactly has been going on. And as they leave the backyard of the mansion house, she go right back into she goes right back into the house, and then we got the first opening sequence of the show, which I freaking love this opening sequence. It definitely is like the sister of Apocalypse, definitely. Delicate is definitely one of my favorite seasons so far. So when we got back, we saw that she's sitting down in her room. She's like emailing people, she's texting people, she's trying to figure out some things that's been going on. And a lot of things started dawning in her mind, like, okay, I need to speak to some people. And then she starts seeing like her face things start peeling off in some weird way. And then when she got up in the morning, it's already daybreak, and she's like figuring out, okay, who ordered certain things, and like she has people bringing things to her. Um, Even though she has like a bodyguard and everything, it's like it's a lot of weird stuff because even Shaban is not in the house, definitely like maneuvering, helping each other out. She's like making salad and all that stuff, which is very weird. It's like these people are now invading your whole privacy. They're inside of your house. And there's this new nurse, or I guess this agent that she has, that I guess she's like a real estate or some sort of agent for her. And she definitely like started looking around and telling her like, look, I have a child too. Do you have a child yet? And that kind of like affected her in a way. And then she told her husband like, yo, who exactly ordered like the champagne things and all? Like, how do they know where we live? I thought this was supposed to be private for us to have privacy. He was like, I don't know, maybe it was Shaban. And she was like, Shaban wouldn't do things like that, especially she knows better, right? And you could clearly see like the husband starts saying like, you gotta accept that you're a celebrity now, you're an A-list star, like trying to make her happy and boosting her ego. And slowly and surely she started like smiling, like Anna started smiling and stuff. But like I said, I still don't trust the husband as much because this dude is literally not caring every single thing that is happening to his wife. And he's more concerned of like, what's the next thing? Like he's trying to leap over the situation, which could be a hint. And she was like, maybe we should like take a break, and I'll see if I could go see Shaban or contact her, so that way we could have a better situation of what's been happening. And she started getting like woman intuition, of course, and she started saying maybe my husband is like cheating, maybe he doesn't love me the same way, and he don't even want to. Because if you look back in the first part of the episode, she asked him like, is it me, like, do you really want to try to have a kid again, or like you're not interested anymore? So Shaban walks into the room, and she started telling Anna like, let's get something to eat, let's make sure you eat something, let's make sure you just relax and start replanning what you need to do. She said, for now, I got a secret for you, I got you on the cover of Vogue, she mentioned. And Anna was like in complete shock. She was like, Vogue, you said? Like, she was like, yeah, just make sure you take care of yourself. We're gonna see if we could go out and see if we could like start something interesting today. Anna was all for it. Like, what's her name was like, I don't want to eat certain things. She was like, no, I'm making you this salad. Like, you gotta just enjoy. Like, just in general, she's trying to keep her momentum of like caring for Anna and making sure she's good. The fact that she's in the house with the new agent, like she's bringing all these crew, like the whole group of people that has worked with Anna, all showed up at her new place, basically trying to dictate what she needs to do. Because she was like, someone or something, Anna said, like, is not allowing me to have this baby. She was like, maybe it's not true. Like, she starts to lie. Now Shaban is also saying that now. She's like, yeah, maybe this is all in your head. Like, you gotta try to figure out like what's good for you or not. But don't let this get too much in your head. But in the meantime, let's do our best to like eat something right now, because you're gonna go out with me in a few minutes, so that way we could just talk more about how you're gonna fix your day. So they started walking to the beach, which I recall that this beach looks very eerily similar to the double feature, which was the red tide part where they had like the beach very desaturated, and then you have the bodyguard walking in the background, and she was like complimenting on him, and then she told Shaban maybe her husband is cheating, right? She started saying like, um, she don't want people to be like thinking that like the person that's protecting her is like a stalker. She started flirting and telling him like, yeah, I wouldn't mind, like that would have been my stalker too type of stuff. And I'm like, all right, that's funny. And she started looking at things from one lens. She was like, you're an A-list star. Of course, people are gonna try to break into your house, and this is comes with the territory when you're like super famous like that. And she said like, I got you more covered on Vogue magazine, so we have so much to do, so don't feel a certain way. So trying to figure, but from this point angle, we could clearly see like Shaban looking more and more like a damn witch. Like you could even see her eyes like that. That's how crazy. And I like how they made this like very desaturated color, which is very cool. When I like seeing things like, especially like when they trying to make sure that the scenery, the capturation of the scenery is pitch perfect. And I think that it's working. Like whatever that this season is doing so far is definitely working. It's giving the characters more depths, and I would never in my million years to say like her portray of Shaban and the character that Kim is playing is very interesting. Nevertheless, to see how she's gonna create that atmosphere. And then as Anna and Shaban is walking, and she felt something, and then we could see in the background of both the um bodyguard and Anna, these two twins, these two twin, like they look like fairies or rabbit. I'm not sure what they are, but they were looking at Anna as she was walking by. Then Anna started finding like these weird pictures in the garbage can of the beach. So Anna just like kind of like freak out. She went to the basement of the house, which is always creepy when you have a basement like that looks like this, and there's all these evidence pointing that not to go down there, and you did anyway. And that's always a scary part to me. And I guess those are like family photos she was looking at, and she started reminiscing about trying to have a child. And I guess she has a copy of, I guess, a clothes of hers, I think, of when she was a child. And she's like reminiscing, like she can't wait to have a child, and what could have been, right? She still doesn't know if she has the child or not, or like, I would say not have the child, but like still don't know if the child is like still alive to like really be born. And I think that was important for her to like actually know that. But as we started seeing further and further on into the episode, this episode was freaking good. Like as we started seeing more and more of supernatural energy that's going on in the season, we could clearly see that the season is clearly shifting from normal to supernatural to even more crazier as we see. Because Anna started looking at it, and then she felt like this weird not pain, but like this weird energy. And she like turned around, and she started looking at the back of the room. And then when she got closer and closer and closer, it's like she was staring at something. And then at first we didn't see it. I didn't see it myself. And even if I had viewers, it's the same thing. Like I didn't see it until she turned around. There's this weird little marking on the brick of the house, and there's this tiny door that I'm not sure if this thing was there or not, but I'm guessing it appears. She started hearing voices on that door. So she started walking, she opened the door, and it's like a tunnel. It's like a maze. And there's like fire sparks. It's like it felt like the apocalypse place. Is the gloominess, the orange and black contrast. I think that was pretty cool. Like I said, whatever they're doing this year for the cinematics for the episodes are freaking phenomenal. it's crazy to see that the whispering started getting louder and louder and louder as she, keep turning in each part of the yeah, she kept turning in each part of the cave, and it realized that the house either sits on a cave or the entire house leads to somewhere else, or it just probably popped up out of nowhere. So as Anna started diving further down, the door that was in the back of her just shut, like supernaturally shut. And she just turned around and like looked, and like I guess she wasn't scared because whatever that was luring her down there knew exactly what was being done. And that was pretty creepy within itself. When she got closer to there, she started seeing, this remind me of Murder House, definitely. We started seeing all these cases, these boxes, these things in jars, like preserved, which was pretty creepy. Like it felt like the opening sequence of Murder House. And then for once they have like this baby head. It's like somebody or something has been collecting different human body parts as well as animals, anything that involved like baby things, like baby animals, baby humans. All these things were like preserved and like in a jar, which was pretty freaking creepy. Like you don't go down there to a cell of a house and find things like this. Like that is a immediate flag for you to leave. And then as she gets closer, she saw like this the chair that normally people use to like, I guess, to get a checkup from like pregnancy. There's one that looks exactly replicate to the one that she goes to the clinic. And some those two twin things, those two figures capture her and laced her down to the chair and gave her a sedative to like, I guess, pass out. In the meantime, they took like this syringe, like this needle, and like poked her with it, like by her thighs. And I'm guessing this should be done something. It's like something is forcing her to have a, now it looks like something or some people, some supernatural people are the ones that are forcing her to give birth to something, or to something that she already have already. Because still right now, I don't even trust the husband, like I said, at this point. And then out of nowhere, we got back to the scene where she was trying to open the door, and then the husband find her, right? And the husband started asking like, what's going on, like what do you feel like that? She said, ever since we got back into this house, we've been seeing a lot of supernatural stuff, and look what I found lately. She saw, like, she found this, I guess, a replica of her, like a little doll, a little voodoo doll, and it has like these little pins on her stomach, indicating somebody or something is either stopping her from having a child, or it's replicating something else instead of her actual human child. Because it's not by coincidence now that she now could feel the child or anything. And it felt creepy because from the jump, she was like, wait, don't say nothing. And then she was like, I could feel the baby's moving inside of her stomach. She said, maybe the baby's not dead. And he was like, the husband started saying like, no, no, don't think like that. I'm already tired. Like, don't, this could be your mind going off again. And then she was like, no, I'm not lying. And she was like, why do you think like that? Why you think that I'm lying all the time? He was like, no, it's not you. It's because, it's my child. Look, he had like I'm guessing it's a real breakdown. Like he started crying and getting frustrated. But I'm like, I don't really trust that as much. Because people that's evil could act for a long time until they show their real intentions. So that's even more creepy. So she got up, she woke up, she started looking around. She called, I guess, either Siobhan or the clinic. And she was like, yeah, let me speak to this person. Let's see what could happen to, get a better understanding what has been going on. And the doctor texted her. She was like, yeah, the basic one, based on the results, you didn't have a problem too much, and that you are still capable of still having that child. So her feeling full of herself, happy, and then the I guess the agent came up. I guess her personal agent was like, "Yeah, doctor likes to see you." And she started her teeth started bleeding, like some sort of like gingivitis, but she was like started smiling for some reason. And then we realized that no, she started like googling like, okay, what happened when you feel like your gums are bleeding or something. And I guess it says like, yeah, due to like that, it means that um you basically gonna be giving. And then at the same time, we started seeing those two twin things walking in the alley of the, I guess, the library or the bookshelf area of the store, which was even more creepy. These things look very old and medieval, or something that predates even that. So that's even more scary. Then she started saying like, "What do you need? Like, what can we help you with?" And this episode is just amazing. And then she was like, "Oh my god, I know who you are," type of stuff. So it's crazy. When she got back, she started smiling. She got a text saying that, yeah, your child did not disappear. So I think you're still gonna be having a baby. So she googled what she wanted to know, and it seems like those are the symptoms of still having a child. And she's been seeing the same lady. And then when she pulled up, the um the lady that has been warning her since the award table appeared on her mirror of her car and said that, um the password has been changed and everything, like you're ready to go. She was like, please don't trust her, Anna. And then she disappeared. So when they got back to the actual house, trying to lock everything. That's a lot of crazy stuff that happened. She started looking around. This part of the scene was very eerie because it's like she's looking around, she's looking left and right, and she's like contemplating like, okay, what has happened? Um, has anything has changed? Like what could be done differently? And then in the background we saw, like, looking down, this raccoon, like deceased raccoon, looked like it's been dead for like a couple of hours or more. Like, you see maggots and all these crazy, which is pretty crazy to think about. And the episode was amazing. This episode was freaking amazing. I definitely count it as a 10 out of 10 for this episode. And with everything that has happened, it seems like these twin things gave her a chance to have a child. And based on the syringe that they gave her, now she's capable of having a child. I think everything comes with a responsibility and the consequences, and this is not one. This is just one of them. I think when she thinks that she's gonna have a child, it may not be one a child as you think it is. But this was amazing, guys. Like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. This will be episode 4, which is the Vanishing Twins. See you guys.